Hi everyone, Ashish Kyal here. Very warm welcome to Ashish Kyal Trading Gurukul. And it's fantastic to see all the mentees here where we are going to talk about how is the market looking post-budget, what is the path that we expect markets to form. And we will start with quick question and answers with respect to NeoWave, with respect to concept of time. I've today also published one of the research article on time and it looks very interesting right now. Where do we stand? Basis of that 55 days time cycle. Along with that, if you look at wave theory, very important juncture is where we are standing. One point that I would like to highlight is the fact of what's happening with Adani. It's a disaster if you see with Adani Enterprise down by again 25% today, and with Adani Ports sharply moving on the downside. What's very interesting to observe in this period of time, based on the studies of socionomics. So I am going to just share across something very crucial, which is not necessarily related to, this is more related to wave personality is what I'm talking about. So Satyam scandal happened in 2008 bottom when that low was forming. In that zone, the chaos happened and the Satyam scandal was unrooted from there. The next, if you go and check, the Infosys scam, which happened, corporate governance, happened when the Infosys formed a law. If you check, I am forgetting one more incident, such incidents, usually happens when the market is in a distress. This kind of things are usually preceded by a bear market. Now you might think, where is the bear market? If you check, the top of Nifty was formed at 18,600 in October 2021. And since then, the top of 18,600 was just flirted around about 2 months back. But again, the market is still not crossed that. So since October 2021, what you are witnessing so far, since then, it has been a bear market. The reason being, if you look at the overall breadth of the market, it has been deteriorating. If you look at the overall index, Nifty index, it is still at the level where it was 1.5 years back, which means there was a correction, not in terms of much of a price on the index level, but at least in terms of time. So this we call as a bear market in terms of time correction, which has happened over the period of 1.5 years. And it's classic because we called out for a top at 18,600, not after it has been formed, but before, well before, and also expected this bear market to continue until June 2023. We are now in Feb 2023. So that concept of time, basis of which we expected markets to not rally, has worked out brilliantly. Not in terms of price correction much, which we indeed see the price correction also, but more in terms of time correction is what we saw. So that is the phase of bear market. And in that phase of bear market, what is happening now is very interesting because this happens usually during the fag end of the bear markets. Usually such kind of incidents are unearthed during the fag end of the bear market. However, the time lag can be lot. Maybe for 2 months we can consolidate or correct, or maybe for 3 months, or maybe for 3 weeks. So the time lag of these kind of scandals that come out at the end of the bear market can last for 2-3 months of time. It's not necessary that since the scam is now out, we should start seeing a rally from tomorrow. It's not, doesn't happen that way. So we might still have 2 weeks, 3 weeks, 2 months, who knows. And but we are at a very important juncture right now with respect to the wave theory also. So these kind of incidences, when you see happening, you should be now getting not more and more bearish. You should be getting prepared that you might start getting a buying opportunity. If the short-term cycles turn on the upside, you might start looking for investments. Not immediately. Maybe you should be ready with your funds for next, maybe in a month's time, maybe in 2 months' time, or maybe by June 2023. But I would be starting to nibble across slowly and steadily from here. What is one aspect that I want to still observe closely is the interest rate cycle. The interest rate cycle is still not topped out. We will see higher interest rates from here on as well. So the interest rate cycle has not topped out yet, and higher interest rates are here to stay. Usually by the end of the bear market, we start seeing the interest rate cycle reversing, which means it was on a downward trajectory and then the interest rate starts bottoming out, and that's how it happens. So looking at the overall bond market and the interest rate cycle, we might still have that 3 months of time before we bottom out, looks like that. And but this incidence of the scandal appearing at the time of where we are already corrected by 1.5 years now is no coincidence. This happens when raising fund becomes difficult. This happens when you think you are too big to fail. So these kind of incidences happen. But the outcome of Adani scandal is not going to be superficial. It's going to be deep rooted if there is, and of course there is a lot of value to it. Suppose if this would have been raised earlier also by Suchita Dalal, you might be aware, but nothing happened. Just for 2 days it came out and then everything settled. But this time, the stocks getting hammered by 20, 25%, 30% every single day over past 2 to 3 days is suggesting there is a lot of weightage in what has been pointed out. Otherwise, this wouldn't have happened. The next is Adani Enterprise stock price valuation. If you are looking at it, it is still the valuation. I have not checked it today, but the price to earning ratio was quoting around 250. And this is after the crash has happened. So it is still at a very high expensive valuation. If you look at Adani Green, if you look at Adani Power, you look at any of those stocks, the valuation have been crazy, except the Adani Port, which is also correcting, being a part of the entire group. So in this entire, heat, whatever is, markets will become irrational. Okay. So you might get a value in these stocks, but you do not catch a low here unless you see at least a daily close above the prior candle high. That's a very simple aspect which can tell you at least there is a pause in the downtrend. I have seen so many of the people have been bottom fishing, thinking about the FPO being priced at 3,100 and then trying to buy the stock. They have burnt their fingers because they traded without a stop loss, thinking what can go wrong. And you can clearly see, I think the stock was even quoting at what, 1,500, 1,600 levels today. So you know what can go wrong now. So it's very important. Despite of the Adani route, we see Nifty holding 17,600 is something to think as a relative strength as of now. But let's just wait for that, that level to be taken out. I'm going to share across on my chart. So let's just see how it goes, how it behaves from here. So I'm not asking you to go and invest now. I'm just saying that you need to be ready with your funds maybe next 1 month, 2 months, 3 months, 4 months time. So we will see how it spans out, how the wave pattern develops from here. And then we will take our call on how to go about investing in stock market in India. Am I making sense? Okay. So it's very important that you try to look at the aspects of trading in a very different way than what everyone else is doing. This is going to be amazing. And we have been publishing short videos every day on YouTube, talking about some or the other concept of time and those concepts. So if you are also, if you are not subscribed, please ensure you are subscribing to the YouTube channel, liking and sharing it across, because people should learn and then they should be trading the markets. So the wave personality right now is classic. Where do we stand on the chart? I'll just share that across with you all, and you will be amazed to see that we are indeed at a very important juncture. And I'm not saying if the low, so the event that is there on the budget day, the candle which is formed, the high and the low that you see on those budget days, or any event over the past decades I've observed, the event high and low becomes very, very important. So the low of 17,350 is crucial. The high of 17,970 is important. And that's the big candle I'm talking about. In this big candle, now we are just going to go sideways, grinding in either direction. Bullish people will start betting on the upside. Bearish will start betting on the downside. But just to realize, market is actually not going in any direction. It's just meandering there without any direction. In this kind of scenario, the best setup that you can take is restrict yourself to maybe intraday trading, buy near support, sell near resistance, and positionally if you want to trade, then possibly short options, sell options. Even on the budget day, I mean, selling option was one of the best strategy if you are trading positionally, which expired all worthless today, given the range that I was expecting. And markets are just, hitting that GAN level of 7756, moving around that zone, not ready to go in any specific direction. And that is acting like a magnet. So that's what I wanted to talk about before. Now we will move on to the charts. Okay, great. And it's pleasure to see all of you over here, all the mentees and also from the Master of Waves participant. So before we start with the chart, I would like the questions that you might have in your mind. Any questions that you want to ask, you can please ask with respect to wave theory, with respect to neo wave, and anything that you would like to know about it. So I am more than happy to answer all of those questions right now.